Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Weisheidt, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it very, very much. And we always like to catch up and find out what's happening in certain areas. The best way to do that in Lafourche Parish is to check in with Captain Brendan Mathern. Captain, thanks so much for joining us today.
Good to be here as always, Keith. Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it. Listen, I know it's one of those things that we're always glad that it comes, but we're also glad when it goes. Congratulations on making it through Mardi Gras.
Thank you, man. It's one of those seasons. It's both rewarding and challenging at the same time. I have every deputy has to work 3 parades, and I'm in charge of a couple in the South Lafourche area. And, it's always great when you're going through the motions of the parade and telling people hi and, fist bumping and high-fiving kids. But the process to prepare for it and certainly dealing with issues that come along, that's the troubling part. For some reason, go figure, a lot of people like to consume alcohol during parades, and sometimes it makes things get out of hand. With that said, I am happy to report that for the most part, by and large, we had, a Mardi Gras, a carnival season that was, really issue free from by and large. We had a few minor incidents here and there, but by and large, if you attended a parade, you had a very positive experience in Lafourche Parish.
Yeah, and overall we had some really good weather. We had some mild weather. We had a little cool weather as well. But people were able to get out and enjoy the parades. Again, one of the focus that we had talked about several times, wanting it to be a family event. It was that. And again, not very many issues. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, the weather really cooperated this year, especially yesterday on Mardi Gras Day, making for a very nice, outing for the families. We only had one parade that was rained out. That was the crew of Couillon down the Bayou, and they just moved ahead of a parade on Sunday. And of course, there was a concern about weather on Sunday, but everything was able to hold off, and we were able to get all the parades in. And that's always a variable that we have to work around along with the crews. But like I said, thankfully, everything went off pretty much without a hitch.
Yeah, and one of those things I always appreciate about enjoying Mardi Gras, I love the fact that you and your team were able to kind of put together something on TikTok to kind of let everybody know that y'all enjoy that as well.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of things, like I mentioned before, there's a lot of things for deputies to not enjoy about Mardi Gras. But myself and several of my fellow deputies always try to make the best of the situation. And as you can see from the video playing now, this is actually our first TikTok video. We actually reserved the @LaFoucheSO moniker several months ago, just on the off chance that we would ever join TikTok. And we've decided to go ahead and experiment with it. And as you can see, we had some fun with the, of course, trend that's going on right now. So we all took a turn saying that it's Mardi Gras, of course, and giving something obvious to the trend. Even I participating in it myself here as well. I usually like to be behind the camera, but even I couldn't resist the urge to go in our first TikTok video. So yeah, Keith, we had a lot of fun with this one. And I would imagine that if you subscribe to us @LaFoucheSO on TikTok, that you'll see more of this type of content as we try to just give the community, kind of a lighter side of policing and law enforcement, and hope to use it as a recruitment tool as well to show young people who are into social media, especially TikTok, that we can sort of jump on board and do some of the same things and have just as much fun as everyone else.
Yeah, there's a way to be able to enjoy these wonderful times. I mean, we live in such a great area, and to be able to share that with people and tell them that you can come to work and have some fun, help take care of people, and there's a way to do that and do that in an environment that we're kind of growing and getting used to. If you'd have told me that Lafourche Parish would have done a TikTok video several years ago, I said, okay. Right. But it's just one of those things where we can let people know this is a great place to be in general, and it's a great place to work and some wonderful people to do it with.
And, as part of the culture change that we had here before I got here in 2011, you actually, the employees weren't allowed on social media. I mean, it was still in its infancy, and it was just kind of looked at as a time consumer, a time waster. But as more and more people jumped online and more public agencies did it, we recognized internally the value of social media and being able to keep the community informed. So in turn, when I first got here, no one wanted to be in pictures, right? But now I have deputies not only jumping in front of the camera, but recording videos and taking pictures themselves and sending it to me. So it's been part of that whole culture shift here at the Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office. As on one hand, before social media, no one really wanted to get in a picture, and now everyone wants to be sort of the social media star, especially with our huge following on Facebook and some of our other platforms. So we're going to continue to produce that quality content while also doing our best to keep the community informed about important issues going on.
Yeah, and with regards to important issues, it's really good to make sure that we're aware that, the Mardi Gras season, as wonderful and enjoyable as it is and has been, we kind of turn the page into that Lenten season, for us in the South here, for a lot of those people, just kind of the view of just kind of moving past Mardi Gras and, starting with Valentine's Day, believe it or not, as a beginning point with both of those things.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, we embrace all of those things here at the Sheriff's Office. If anybody that follows us on social media will know, we try to take part in as much as possible, especially with the holidays. So like I said, at Lafourche SO is how you can find us. We are now on 6 different social media platforms, as well as our website, lpso.net. So we invite you to join us and follow us along as we take part in some of these things.
Well, we're excited about it. We appreciate you kind of helping us get into that new technological age, as we're all trying to do. It's always great that people can go and see what it's really like for some of you guys at Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office. Thanks a million. We appreciate the updates as always, Cap.
Thank you, Keith. Appreciate it.
You got it. All right, guys, that'll do it for this particular segment. Don't go anywhere. A whole lot more Bayou time when we continue.